I feel like I talked a lot in the beginning of that reaction, and then I just kind of stared off into space for like the second half. I don't know. Eugene and Max. First of all, I liked Eugene's self-awareness. You know, he mentioned that he doesn't pick up on, you know, subtleties and social cues and stuff like that. I think most of us figure that he's probably on the spectrum, and it's nice to hear him having some self-awareness, you know, about some of his difficulties in interacting with people. So that was nice. I don't really understand why Max, like why he had to beg for her forgiveness and everything, because considering what he'd just been through, I mean, yeah, he walked out on her, but like you'd think she'd be more understanding that he just went through this like really traumatic thing, and then she was like laying all this information on him and he couldn't handle it. So I thought it was weird that he had to like beg her forgiveness. It was sweet, you know, they're clearly like on the same wavelength and everything, and I like that. But I just feel like this is the least interesting version of that story that they could have possibly done. Why have this whole fake Stephanie thing? Like, why do this? It just feels like a waste of time. You know, my thought in the beginning, you know, nobody trusted Stephanie, right? And so it was like, okay, is she a real person, or is she, you know, somebody trying to lure Eugene and his group, you know, like Terminus style or whatever. And when we found out, I mean, I guess we didn't find out that Stephanie was a fake, but like everybody knew it. I avoid spoilers like the plague, and yet I still knew about that spoiler. So it was everywhere. It wasn't even, they didn't even try to hide it. Like, they literally credited the actress who plays Max as the voice of Stephanie. So they didn't even try, whatever. Anyway, the point is, I thought that would lead somewhere. And also, I expected Max to be in on it, and for there to be, you know, like she would have to coach Shira, right? She would have to coach fake Stephanie. Why would he believe that that was Stephanie? I'm sorry. I'm just really frustrated. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I just thought that this would lead somewhere other than just giving Eugene something to do. And it just feels completely pointless. It just feels like this story was to give Josh McDermott something to do. Like, truly. And so it's just frustrating. Like, why bother? Anyway, whatever. I'm moving on. And then, okay, does the show want us to think that Maggie's making a mistake? Because I feel like that's what the show is trying to tell us, but clearly Hornsby isn't stable. I mean, like, I was getting governor vibes from him. So I'm not sure what the show wants us to think, but I agree with Maggie. I wouldn't trust these people. And it's just really shocking to me how much Daryl seems to trust them, even though he says in this episode that he doesn't. He's really fallen in line, and that's surprising. So I don't know, that's weird. So I'm wondering if Hornsby is going to take over. Are they related? Hornsby and Milton, are they related? Because she said something about you've been ambitious our whole lives. Like, are they brother and sister? I wonder if he's going to maybe try to take over those communities without her knowledge. But why is it a package deal? You know, why is it 3 of them or nothing? That doesn't make any sense. And this whole thing about Oceanside being so loyal to Hilltop, where were they when Hilltop was burned down by the Whisperers? Hello? I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's like the show just remembered, oh shit, Oceanside exists. We should have a scene. I don't know. And then what's Mercer's deal? I feel like Mercer is the only thing that they're handling well, because first you think he's a bad guy, and then you think, well, maybe he's not a bad guy, and then you think, well, maybe he kind of is a bad guy, and then you're like, I don't know. And I feel like they're being subtle enough with that, and they're dropping some breadcrumbs. And I caught that line when he said to his sister Max that it's like extra dangerous for them in that community for some reason, and I was like, what's that about? And so I feel like Mercer is the only character they're handling well out of the new people, and the only kind of storyline that they're handling well, or at least handling to my interest. I don't know. It was really nice to see Aaron and Lydia and Diane and Herschel. We got a little bit of Jerry too. It's nice to see our people, but damn, I just want to spend time with our people, with our family. This is so frustrating to me about not just The Walking Dead, but this happens in a lot of shows where in the final season, for some reason, they think it's a great idea to bring in a whole bunch of new characters and think that we're going to care about them. I don't want to get to know new characters. I want to spend the time that we have left with the characters that I care about. I'm literally counting down the episodes to when this is over for good. I want to spend that time with my family, with my Walking Dead family. I don't care about this new community or these new people. And it makes me so angry because shows do this all the time. And I don't understand why they don't realize that we want to see our people, and we want our people interacting with each other. We don't want to waste time on new characters. If it wasn't the last season, then I would feel differently. But to do this in the last season, every time we get one scene with Aaron in an episode, I'm just frustrated. Every time we go an episode without seeing Lydia, I'm frustrated. And then it's like, here's a scene for you. Well, gee, thanks. Gee, thanks. It just feels like such a waste, and I'm just really frustrated. I think that's just the theme of this review, is that I'm frustrated. The episode wasn't bad, but I don't care, and I'm just getting kind of mad. I'm just getting kind of pissed off that this is what we're doing. I mean, I didn't like the Reapers either, but at least I wasn't bored. I'm bored at the Commonwealth. Like, the Commonwealth, if The Walking Dead was real, if it was really the zombie apocalypse, then maybe the Commonwealth would look good to me. But that's not what I come to The Walking Dead for. I come to The Walking Dead for, communities like Alexandria and the Hilltop. So the Commonwealth is just boring to me. I wonder if I would be less frustrated if this wasn't the final season, though, because I felt the same way when we got to Alexandria. I hated Alexandria, and I hated all the new people, and it wasn't even the final season, but I just hated that our core group was separated and teamed up with other people, and I didn't like that it was an established community. I liked being on the road with our group. And, that's just where my heart is with The Walking Dead. Like, I just want to be on the road, in the forest with our core group of people surviving. So, but once Alexandria became theirs, became ours, then I feel differently about Alexandria now. But when we first arrived, it was not inviting or appealing to me. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that if we had a lot of seasons, if we had a few more seasons to get used to the Commonwealth and to settle in, and to maybe for our people to maybe change things, or if our people were interacting more, I don't know, I guess I'm sorry. I'm just so frustrated. I guess I just feel like if we had more time, maybe I wouldn't be so impatient and I wouldn't be so frustrated and I would be more open. But because I'm literally counting down to saying goodbye to the show, I'm more frustrated with every episode because it's not giving me what I want. So with that, I will just stop my rambling. I don't even know how I'm going to edit this. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.